The Porsche 911 GT3 is not just a car, it is a declaration of intent. From the moment it comes into view, low-slung and wide-hipped, it communicates a singular purpose that has been refined over decades: performance without compromise. It carries the DNA of motorsport in every line, every sound, every vibration transmitted through the chassis, and yet it remains unmistakably a 911. That continuity is important, because the GT3 is not a break from tradition, but its most concentrated expression. It exists because Porsche believes that driving, in its purest form, still matters. To understand the 911 GT3, you have to understand the philosophy behind it. This is a car engineered by people who race, for people who care about the act of driving. It is not built to chase lap times alone, nor to dominate spec sheets for marketing purposes, although it often does both. Instead, the GT3 is about feedback, balance, and precision. It is about the conversation between driver and machine, one that happens at high speed but feels intimate, almost personal. Every generation of GT3 refines that conversation, removing distractions, sharpening responses, and deepening the connection. At the heart of the Porsche 911 GT3 lies one of the most celebrated engines in modern automotive history, a naturally aspirated flat-six. In an era dominated by turbocharging, downsizing, and electrification, Porsche has stubbornly and proudly kept the GT3's engine free of forced induction. This is not nostalgia for its own sake, it is a deliberate engineering choice. A naturally aspirated engine offers immediacy, linearity, and a sonic character that turbocharged engines simply cannot replicate. Throttle response is instantaneous, power delivery is progressive, and the engine rewards revs in a way that feels increasingly rare. The GT3's engine is derived directly from Porsche's motorsport programs, sharing architecture and philosophy with the engines used in endurance racing. It revs to extraordinary heights, producing power not through brute force but through precision and efficiency. The sound it makes as it climbs toward redline is mechanical, urgent, and unmistakably Porsche. It starts as a deep, metallic growl and builds into a ferocious howl, a sound that seems to vibrate through your chest as much as through the car itself. For many enthusiasts, that sound alone justifies the GT3's existence. Power is only part of the story, though. What truly defines the 911 GT3 is how it uses that power. The rear engine layout, a defining characteristic of the 911 since its inception, presents unique challenges. With so much weight over the rear axle, traction is abundant, but balance can be tricky. Over decades, Porsche has mastered this layout, turning what was once considered a flaw into a defining strength. In the GT3, that mastery is on full display. The car feels planted, stable, and confidence-inspiring, even at speeds that would overwhelm lesser machines. The chassis of the GT3 is a masterpiece of tuning and engineering. Lightweight materials are used wherever possible, not for bragging rights but to improve responsiveness. The suspension is firm but not punishing, designed to keep the tires in optimal contact with the road while still allowing the driver to feel every nuance of the surface beneath them. Steering is precise, communicative, and beautifully weighted. It tells you exactly what the front tires are doing, how much grip is available, and when you are approaching the limit. In a world where steering feel has been dulled by electric assistance and over-filtering, the GT3 stands as a benchmark. Braking performance is equally impressive. Massive brakes provide relentless stopping power, lap after lap, without fade. Whether equipped with traditional steel rotors or Porsche's advanced ceramic composite brakes, the GT3's braking system inspires total confidence. The pedal feel is firm and progressive, allowing precise modulation even under extreme conditions. On a racetrack, this translates into later braking points and more consistent lap times. On the road, it simply means the car always feels under control, regardless of speed. The design of the Porsche 911 GT3 reflects its function with brutal honesty. Aerodynamics play a central role, and nothing is purely decorative. The large rear wing, aggressive front splitter, and carefully sculpted bodywork all serve to generate downforce and improve stability at high speed. Unlike some performance cars that use exaggerated styling to signal aggression, the GT3's appearance feels purposeful and restrained. Every vent, every contour, has a reason. It is a car that looks fast because it is fast, not because it is trying to convince you. Step inside the GT3, and the focus on driving becomes even more apparent. The interior is stripped of unnecessary luxuries, replacing them with materials and features that support performance. Lightweight bucket seats hold the driver firmly in place, providing support during high-speed cornering. Alcantara surfaces improve grip and reduce glare. The steering wheel is perfectly sized, with a thickness that feels just right in the hands. Everything is positioned for ease of use at speed, from the pedals to the gear selector to the instrument cluster. One of the most celebrated aspects of the 911 GT3 is its transmission options. Porsche has offered the GT3 with both a manual gearbox and the lightning-fast PDK dual-clutch transmission, acknowledging that different drivers value different aspects of the experience. The manual transmission is a love letter to purists, offering a tactile, mechanical connection that enhances engagement. Each shift feels deliberate, each gear change a small act of craftsmanship. The PDK, on the other hand, delivers astonishing performance, executing shifts faster and more precisely than any human could manage. It allows the driver to focus entirely on braking points, steering inputs, and throttle modulation. What makes the GT3 special is not just that it excels on the track, but that it remains usable on the road. This duality is rare. Many track-focused cars feel compromised or uncomfortable in everyday driving, but the GT3 manages to avoid this trap. It is firm, yes, and it demands attention, but it is not punishing. Visibility is good, controls are intuitive, and the car feels surprisingly manageable at lower speeds. You can drive it to the track, spend the day chasing lap times, and then drive it home again without feeling exhausted. That versatility is a hallmark of Porsche engineering. Driving a Porsche 911 GT3 is an immersive experience. It demands your full attention and rewards skill and commitment. This is not a car that flatters sloppy inputs or forgives carelessness. It encourages you to be better, to refine your technique, to listen to what the car is telling you. As your confidence grows, so does the GT3's ability to deliver. The faster you go, the more alive it feels, the more it seems to shrink around you, becoming an extension of your own senses. There is also an emotional component to the GT3 that is difficult to quantify but impossible to ignore. It represents a philosophy that values purity over excess, engagement over convenience. In a time when many high-performance cars are becoming increasingly digital, insulated, and autonomous, the GT3 stands firm in its commitment to the human element. It reminds us why people fell in love with cars in the first place: the thrill of acceleration, the satisfaction of a perfectly executed corner, the joy of mastering a machine. The heritage of the 911 GT3 adds another layer to its appeal. Since its introduction in the late 1990s, the GT3 has become an icon, a benchmark against which other performance cars are measured. Each new generation builds upon the last, refining and evolving while staying true to the core principles that define the model. Porsche does not reinvent the GT3 with each iteration, it perfects it. This continuity creates a sense of trust and authenticity that is rare in the automotive world. Owners of the GT3 often speak of it with a sense of reverence. It is not just a possession, but a partner in experiences. Track days, mountain roads, early morning drives on empty highways, these moments become memories that are inseparable from the car itself. The GT3 encourages exploration and commitment. It invites you to wake up early, seek out the best roads, and drive with intention. It turns ordinary journeys into events. The Porsche 911 GT3 is also a statement about restraint. In a market filled with hypercars boasting astronomical horsepower figures and eye-watering price tags, the GT3 takes a different approach. It does not rely on overwhelming power to impress. Instead, it focuses on balance, control, and feel. This makes it accessible in a way that more extreme cars are not. You do not need to be a professional driver to enjoy it, but you will feel like one when everything comes together on a perfect stretch of road or a flawless lap. From an engineering perspective, the GT3 is a showcase of Porsche's capabilities. Every component is designed to work in harmony, from the engine and transmission to the suspension and aerodynamics. Nothing feels out of place or over-engineered. The car has a cohesiveness that is immediately apparent from behind the wheel. It feels whole, complete, and resolved, as if nothing more needs to be added or taken away. As the automotive world continues to change, the future of cars like the 911 GT3 is often questioned. Regulations become stricter, technology advances, and consumer expectations evolve. Yet the GT3 persists, adapting where necessary but never losing sight of its core mission. It is a reminder that there will always be a place for cars built for enthusiasts, for those who value the act of driving as an art form rather than a chore. In the end, the Porsche 911 GT3 is more than the sum of its parts. It is not defined solely by its horsepower, its lap times, or its price. It is defined by how it makes you feel. It is defined by the way it responds to your inputs, the way it communicates its limits, and the way it rewards your commitment. It is a car that demands respect and gives joy in return. To drive a 911 GT3 is to engage with a legacy that spans generations. It is to experience the culmination of decades of engineering, racing, and passion distilled into a single machine. It is to be reminded that driving can still be thrilling, challenging, and deeply satisfying. In a world that often prioritizes convenience over connection, the Porsche 911 GT3 stands as a defiant, glorious exception, celebrating the pure, unfiltered joy of driving.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.